some nice groundwater there where the snow's melted, some ducks already sitting on it. Don't know if you can see that much detail, but it's actually very pleasant. I mean, there's no snow up in the trees because obviously that would melt first. It's sort of held up to the sunlight. There's plenty of sun on the floor of the wood there, and on all the fields the snow is still there. It will take a few days of these temperatures to melt. As you know, when I left Warsaw it was 7. Some of that would have been the heating that a city gives, because it dropped down to 5 not long after I left Warsaw. Now it's, as you can see, 4 degrees. So yeah, that's all fine. I have a slight problem. It's only hopefully a slight one. I have very good tyres and they're new. This car has, you can't see it because shows the trip with 139.7 kilometres in. But in fact, if I were to turn that, just swap that back to the overall mileometer, this car has 110,764 at the moment kilometres since it rolled off the factory floor. And yeah, last year it had about 104,000. I think I've done 6,000 since then only. I might have even had 105,000. Only done 5 since then. But basically, I tried to sell it last year for 30,000 zlotys, which is about £6,000. Nobody wanted to buy it on Allegro. Nobody wanted to actually buy this car for that money, and I, on the other hand, well, I wasn't about to go selling it for less, because I think it had at least that value to me, and therefore I wasn't willing to part with it for less than that. So even though people were saying, oh, I'm interested in buying this if you want to sell it, when it came to it, they didn't have the money or they didn't want to buy it. So I put it on the website. They didn't buy it. Nobody bought it. It was up publicly for sale. Anybody who wanted to buy this particular kind of car from Allegro could have offered that money and bought it, but nobody did. The other cars of a similar quality and mark, Chrysler Grand Voyager, were priced maybe just slightly lower. Not that much lower. And nobody was saying, oh, well, I'll give you an offer for this or this. So basically I just didn't sell it, and then this year I didn't even try to sell it. The time for selling it would be just before I have to pay another year's insurance, and I've just bought another year's insurance. So since that time I bought 2 years insurance, of which one is now gone and the other one starts off shortly. I paid for it already, and I'm glad I didn't sell it. I'm really glad I didn't sell it, because then I wouldn't have a car. I'd have to be doing everything on trains and planes and automobiles, and well, I actually felt like a long drive. Actually, before getting onto this drive, I just felt, it's time for me to do another one of those long drives. And the minute that I would have to say to myself, no, well, you can't do that because you just don't have the wherewithal, you don't have a car, I would have felt bad. And so even though the idea at the time of not having a car was in order to walk more, and I did, I still do say that I enjoy walking more and more. The better I get at it, the more I enjoy it, and it's great to have that feeling of not having a car all the time. But then there's some times when you just feel, hey, I just feel like, just for old time's sake, having a really nice, long, big, massive car journey. And I've been kind of brewing up for this one for weeks and weeks. Now it's on. I'm enjoying it. I've got my various things happening. Obviously, talking to you, the viewers, and sharing the experience, sharing the feeling of it, so that I've got also the thoughts in my head that I can, also listen to back again and re-enjoy the feeling of being out on this, and the feeling of freedom that you get when you're just out, and the things that you see, and at the changing scenery. You know, that's interesting, isn't it? The way that it's gone up to a certain level, then just stuck at that level. And this, and over there, up on the slag heap there, that's come from the Bilkhartov power station, they've put a wind farm, because obviously it's a bit raised up, it's above everything else. So they've put a wind farm there. I'll see if I can focus up on it a bit. Probably nothing to see there at this distance. So this is going up. Behind the copse of trees there, you see. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. I can't see. With this little screen I get a general kind of thumbnail of what you're going to be able to see, but it's not very full, you know. This is getting a bit busy, isn't it? Just this bit here. And yeah, it's 7:15. So I kicked off a little bit later than I expected to, and soon I will have be on this journey for 2 hours. But getting down to somewhere like Częstochowa in 2 hours isn't by any means bad. It's not at all bad going, really, because you know, yeah, that's. There's been times when driving to Częstochowa has taken me a lot more than 2 hours, and I don't think it's ever taken me under 2 hours. So I think that obviously this isn't going to be 2 hours, but it just goes to show that driving out on a Sunday on these improved roads, and I've really taken it easy. I haven't tried to race, or I've just been trying to just give it 100% relaxation, really. And as you can see, I'm just talking at the same time as driving, just completely relaxed. I'll show you what I look like. That's what I look like, basically, sitting here. I've got my shirt tie on for some reason. I just always seem to like to wear it when I go out. And just having a nice time, and just hoping that this week, some of it's work, of course, some of it's time off, but I'm just hoping that I just get enough relaxation out of it, just from the driving, just enough change of scene that it empowers me when I get back to just push through to the end of this audit season and get everything done, and get all the things done that need to be done afterwards. All of the changes which are going on. Now this is